UFC Vegas 91 recently wrapped up, and I'm going to recap the entire card. This video is a little bit late because your boy was also doing the fight companion for not only the UFC, but also Knuckle Mania, which was Mike Perry versus Thiago Alves. But that's not what this video is about. We're talking UFC. Make sure you guys smash the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. We're going to get right into things and start it off with our first fight on the card. It was Machado versus Benítez. Listen, Machado at the end of it, I thought did like barely enough to win the fight. It really wasn't a super impressive performance, especially against a 35-year-old Benítez who taken a good amount of L's as of recent. Machado's got one of the worst straight right hands in the UFC right now. It's a slapping punch, and he literally puts no momentum behind it. I seriously think that he needs a new coach to teach him how to throw a more proper right hand. He's going like slap mode right hand. You're not putting anybody down with that right. He needs to tighten that up. His hooks are fine. His uppercuts are fine. His jab is fine. But his right hand looks to be a F-level strike. So he needs to close that hole because right now, barely getting by a 35, nearly 36-year-old Benítez. Not a good look for your long-term UFC career. He's 24, so like the rate of improvement could definitely still be there. But I just don't think Machado really has like the natural gifts of athleticism at all. He's just not a fast twitch guy. Like compare him to David Onama. Massive speed difference. Massive power difference. Machado's a decent striker, and he's in fun fights a lot, but he definitely gets hit a lot too. So some concerns going forward with Machado. Nonetheless, he got a close win. I thought he did barely enough to get it, but I wouldn't have cried if it went the other way. Next fight on the card, Ivana Petrović versus Liang. You know what? I'm going to not spare anything. I think this fight was bad. Like, Ivana Petrović, in a sense, got exposed in this fight. She's not that good. Liang is obviously one of the, I don't know, confusing fighters in the UFC because she's like really a solid wrestler, but she's horrible in every other aspect of MMA. I don't understand after 27 pro fights, 26 pro fights before it, like how that's possible. That's the truth. I don't know. It's just she's looks like a girl with 4 pro fights. Like if she was 4-4, I would be like, oh, that makes sense. But when you see 19-7, you're like, oh, I expect something. I mean, granted, she's on a 3-fight losing streak. We knew she was 0-3 in the UFC, and that's where it counts most. Petrović gets a win. I don't know. Looked slower on the feet. Didn't look great in the first round. I thought Liang might have won the first round. Locked up a submission. Arm triangle was nice. She subbed her. Petrovic's not too quick or explosive, but she's like decently fundamentally sound. I'm not talking about no title shots, man. I mean, listen, as of right now, there's no Croatian women's champ coming up right now. I don't see it. At 29, too. If Petrović was 24, I'd be like, all right, she got plenty of time. But at 29, like now is prime time. She got 2 months. 30 is prime. So she's right there. And I personally just don't see the game. Like, I don't think she's that top caliber. She's okay. It's kind of slower on the ground, but she's fine, I guess. I don't want to talk about this fight anymore, okay? I'm going to keep moving. Next fight on the card, we had Chris Padilla versus James Llontop. This is kind of embarrassing for Llontop. It is. It's an embarrassing loss, dude. Because he was taken down and he was choked out in the first round of a fight that was a short notice replacement, which I guess is fine. But it's also the fact that he got submitted and he was overweight. So, yeah, Llontop, not in a great spot. The face tattoos and all is a savage look. But a first-round submission loss to Taco, Chris Padilla. Wow, hard to convince me that he's making a run at the upper echelon of 55. He's a fun style, though. I'd like to see him versus striker. Respect to Padilla coming in on short notice, though. That was a good win, good submission. Padilla's a good grappler. I really don't know what to expect from Padilla moving forward. Like, I still don't even know Llontop's level for sure. He looks okay on the feet, on the ground. Padilla looks like he's got pretty good takedowns. Looks like he's got pretty good submissions. Called out Benítez for a fight at the Sphere. I don't think that makes sense, but I appreciate him calling somebody out at least. Next fight on the card. Can I just skip this one? Oh, shit. Nah, I won't. It's Ketlen Souza, Marnic, man. There were some decent striking moments for Ketlen Souza. I mean, she got a clear unanimous decision win. I've been saying it for a while, dude. I just don't think Marnic Mann's UFC level. Like, she's a tough girl for sure, but doesn't offer much offense in the striking, really relies on wrestling, but she's not a high caliber wrestler. So her fight with Ketlen Souza was a pretty clean loss. She got rocked by a couple of shots. You listen, if there's one thing positive I will say about Marnic Mann is she does have a chin. Ketlen Souza looked pretty quality with her Muay Thai, pretty quality with her grappling, and was able to pull it off. And she got a cool neck tattoo now. Pretty savage look. Next fight on the card, we had Don'Tale Mayes versus Caio Machado. Even though Don'Tale Mayes won, it was not without worry, man. Holy shit. Don'Tale Mayes, he's a stressful guy to have as an underdog just because he's not very quick and he does gas a bit later in fights. Both these guys were slow late, but the big moment was Don'Tale Mayes dropping Machado with an overhand right in the first round. It was a beautifully timed punch. And then the second round, he looked pretty good in the earlier stage, slowed down later. Third round, he looked okay. There was moments for both. It was not fight of the year. It was not fight of the night. It was what I expected between two of the back-end heavyweights in the weight class. Don'Tale Mayes, though, beats Machado, who's now 0-2 in the UFC. I didn't think the Canadian-Brazilian was making any type of run. That's the honest truth. I mean, we knew beforehand. Don'Tale Mayes gets it done. Win for him. He'll stick around. Tough guy. I mean, hard to hurt. Got a chin. A little bit on the slower side. Isn't great at pulling the trigger. Not as powerful as what you'd expect, but still a bit of pop. Good win for Don'Tale Mayes, though. All smack talk aside. Next fight, Austen Hubbard versus Michal Figlak. I was surprised to hear people in my live chat talking about this as robbery. Austen Hubbard, I thought, definitely was the winner. I thought it was a close fight, but I did think he did enough to win. I don't think Figlak's anything special. I've said that all week leading up to it. I picked against Figlak. I was on Hubbard as a dog. I knew that Hubbard was going to be a tough test for Figlak, who I didn't think was that good, and he's not. Austen Hubbard was tough. He was game, but deserving W at the end of it. I think that some shots were landing pretty nicely for Hubbard on the feet. Both guys had moments. Some takedowns, though, for Hubbard. He did just enough to get by, and honestly, I was happy for him because going through the ringer of hell, winning that Ultimate Fighter comeback season. I don't remember the fight. Veterans versus Prospects was the real season. We're not winning it, but finalizing it. Fucking finalize. He's in the finals of it, all right? He's in the finals of it. He did well. He fought through hell to get there, and now you're going to lose to Figlak and get cut from the UFC in 2 fights? No. So, Hubbard, good win for you. Yeah, he looked okay. He looked okay. He's okay. Austen Hubbard's okay. Not going to be fighting for a belt or anything, but tough journey, man. Tough for these debuting guys or guys with 1 or 2 fights. Next fight was Victor Henry versus Yahya. Yeah, Yahya was actually kind of tough in the first round. I'm kind of smirking and talking my shit, but Yahya wasn't easy to deal with early on in the fight. Yahya was tough with wrestling pressure and actually was touching Victor Henry with some okay punches, but when Victor Henry started finding his range in the second and then stopped him up in the third, Yahya got rocked, he got dropped, he got up, which he's tough, so he gets back up to his feet. He didn't need to even continue after getting beat like that. He did. And then referee jumps in standing because he's just getting annihilated, man. Yahya's 39, and he's a gutsy dude who fights hard, but his style is so one-dimensional and so last generation that I just don't want to see it ever again in the UFC. Sorry for being harsh, but I think that Yahya really has awful striking. I know he landed some shots because jiu-jitsu is so tricky to deal with, but in modern MMA, having one skill set and nothing else, I don't know. It's shit to me. It's stupid. It's stupid. It doesn't make sense. Like, why would you want to show up to a fight of unlimited weapons and you're showing up with one? Oh, I got the sharpest blade. But the blade requires you to get guys to the ground, control them, wear them down, and then find a sub. That's why Yahya is 28-12. And that was last era. If he was now this era, he'd be worse off, I think. Victor Henry's tough, though. Good striking with Victor Henry, good takedown defense, and he got a knockout of Yahya. And he's not a heavy-handed guy, Victor Henry. He's a volume puncher, and the volume is what did him in. Good shit. Good shit. All right, next fight brings us to our main card opener. If you haven't yet, make sure you smash the likes, and if you're new to the channel, subscribe. Uros Medic, Tim Means. Tim Means was shooting like crazy for takedowns, and I knew when I saw that it was because there was a real worry of striking with Uros Medic. He kind of gave it all away that he was fearful of the striking. And then the perfect uppercut doinks him, drops him, follow-up ground and pound strike from Uros, and Tim Means is flat out. Uros Medic had a breakout performance here. I mean, he destroyed Tim Means. You haven't seen Tim Means knocked out since 2019. Nico Price knocked him out years ago. He hasn't been beat up like that, man, in a long time. Uros Medic actually looked good. Like, as far as unranked welterweights, I put Uros Medic in a very interesting category. He's, you know, in a very interesting fight with an Alex Morono. I don't know. That fight right there would be kind of sick. Morono's booked, I think, right now. I don't know exactly who it's against, and I'm sorry, but I don't want to look it up. But Uros Medic versus Alex Morono is interesting. I think he can beat an Alex Morono. I feel like Uros Medic against a lot of these strikers at welterweight, good matchup. And if they're not Mitabek Orbay or somebody with an OV at their last two letters of the name, I think that Uros Medic is going to do fairly well. Moving up in weight was the best decision ever. 155, he was way too drained. 170, respect to him. Good knockout, dude. He absolutely starched Tim Means. He looked so much faster. It was a brutal KO. Good shit. It was really impressive, honestly. Uros Medic, he earned a lot of respect in my book, and very fun fights coming forward. David Onama, Jonathan Pearce. I picked David Onama, and he gave it hell. He got a win. Very questionable fight IQ still. First round, Onama definitely did enough to win. Second round, he clearly lost. And I'm like, Onama, why are you engaging in the grappling with Pearce, who's the wrestler/grappler? Third round, the adjustments were made, and he avoided a lot of the grappling positions, and he was able to touch Jonathan Pearce with some good strikes and have some solid moments, man. David Onama has a freakish ability of getting out of body triangles. It doesn't make any sense how he's escaping these back positions, because his back is fully controlled and then he ends up on top. Freakish on the ground, freakish get-ups, freakish athlete. If David Onama can get his fight IQ together, because there was moments where it looked below 60 in this fight, but if he can get his fight IQ together, I seriously believe that David Onama could be ranked. You're going to say, nah, bro, his power is good. His hands are really fast. His abilities are there. I know he's 29, so he's not the youngest guy in the game, but I think he can do something. I really think David Onama's good, and beating Jonathan Pearce is no easy task. Pearce's not an easy guy to beat. I'm really happy for Onama getting it done. He got pushed to the damn breaking point, was gassed in the third round, was all hard at the end, but I guess, truth be told, he missed weight by 3 pounds. It was on purpose. It was on purpose. Bro, it was on purpose, okay? So just so you guys know, he missed weight on purpose. You're going to say, no, he wouldn't do that. The sanctity of the sport. Really? It's a fucking fight, bro, and he's trying to win. A loss to Jonathan Pearce is what we'll remember more than a win and a weight miss. So, yeah, he fucking did it on purpose. Come on. If you're doubting that, get it through the thick skull, okay? It was a good strategy. Ryan Garcia did it in boxing the weekend before. And I said to you guys, David Onama did it on purpose. And it added confidence in my pick, added confidence in my Onama bet call. And boom, David Onama, underdog, pulls it out. Hey, I was very glad. Honestly, seeing Onama win was sick for me. I like Onama a lot. Good punching power. freakish athlete. I just think the potential to be elite is there. He just needs to put it together upstairs, man. Next fight, Jhonata Diniz versus Austen Lane. I don't think I've cracked up laughing and had this much fun seeing someone get knocked out in any UFC fight ever. I, for whatever reason, found the knockout to be absolutely hilarious. And I was breaking down on stream. Like, normally I can contain myself. Even as I'm talking to you guys about it now, just reimagining the way that Lane went down. Normally I can control it. But I thought it was fucking hilarious, man. I thought it was awesome. I was obviously with Team Diniz for the win. And seeing Lane tackle him with no technique and put him on his back and do damage from top in the first round had me furious. I won't lie to you. My blood pressure was through the damn roof. I was angry when that moment happened. And then to see Austen Lane spamming takedowns with no technique and absolutely failing, that started my joy. And then to see him wobbling like he's on fucking ice and then going down made my night. Made my night. Thank you, Jhonata Diniz, for delivering one of the most entertaining knockouts ever. I loved every second of it. Of the second round. The first round, I was pissed. I was like, Jhonata Diniz is horrible. He's got no ground skills. And that takedown was not technical, bro. That was not a technical. It was a football tackle. So Diniz, get your ass in that wrestling room every day. You need to anticipate those more. I think, though, the reason Diniz was taken down is he didn't even expect Lane to shoot. Lane's known for being more of a striker, man. He's an MMA striker. Don't got the striker for Diniz, though. He was on ice skates, man, and he was looking desperate and horrible. Austen Lane, I gotta say, UFC, I find joy in watching him fight. Keep him around for one more, and let's give him somebody with heavy hands once again. Let's give him somebody else with heavy hands. I don't know the name right now, but somebody else with heavy hands is what I want for him. Diniz, good W. But yeah, if he fights a wrestler, he's going to get killed. You get a guy with decent wrestling control, he's in serious trouble. Like, I'm trying to think of somebody unranked, though, because a lot of the guys I'm thinking of are towards the rankings. If you push him towards the rankings too soon, it's a bad look. But he is 32. He's young for heavyweight. This is not the matchmaking video. Off the top of my head, I can't think of an opponent. But for Diniz, there are some fun fights in the weight class. Even a fight against fucking Tafa would be fun. Maybe him and Junior. Battle of kickboxers. Maybe him and Justin. I'd watch that as well. Diniz is in a good spot. Welcome to the UFC. Good knockout win. Next fight on the card was Karine Silva versus Ariane Lipski, who's now Ariane Lipski de Silva. And I don't know how to describe it, but like seeing her last name change to Ariane de Silva, not Lipski anymore, a generic, not to say generic Brazilian last name, but following, Karine Silva. I know she's married, whatever. You can say I'm a dick for it, but it ruined Ariane Lipski's fanhood from me to her. I don't know how to describe it. Lipski, the Ripski for Lipski, that's over. It's dead now. So I am no longer going to be rooting for Ariane Lipski in any fights. That's just how it goes down. And I was picking Karine Silva here, and damn, was I right. The post-weigh-in lock was Karine Silva, and she dominated for 3 rounds and got a great win. Her takedowns and control were excellent. Her grappling positions were really good. I think Lipski hit her with an illegal up kick in the first round that pushed Silva off of her, but it is what it is. Wasn't really a thing that was discussed too much, and it wasn't something that was replayed on the commentary, at least not in the Spanish commentary, the one that I was watching. I'm strange. I was watching the Spanish this card. It is what it is. I thought it was more enjoyable not having to listen to the biased commentators and just having myself talk during the live stream. It made for a better experience, I personally believe. But yeah, Karine Silva, I think, got illegally upkicked. But regardless if that's true or not, she won the fight. And I think that Karine Silva is a developing problem for a lot of girls at 125 pounds because she beat not a bum Lipski that lost to Priscilla Cachoeira. She beat the absolute best version of Ariane Lipski that there probably will ever be. So respect to Karine Silva with that performance. Okay, co-main event. So Bogdan Guskov ended Ryan Spann's UFC career. Ryan Spann in the first round somehow turned into a Curtis Blades Jailton Almeida hybrid, which is pressure, wrestling, takedown control, and beating Guskov up from the top. but he didn't want to strike with Guskov. He kept shooting. I'm like, yo, is the Ryan Spann that chinned Dominic Reyes, dropped Anthony Smith? Is the same one? Now he's a wrestler? Second round, he can't get the takedowns. He falls apart. His striking looked terrible. I don't know what's going on with Ryan Spann. He was thrown from out of range. He's so inconsistent. Bogdan Guskov rocked him with a shot on the feet. Big shot that rocked him. And then I kind of got the feeling that this fight was ending. When he went to the ground and pound, it was over with. It was already wraps beforehand. When Ryan Spann got wobbled, I knew it was over, man. When he fell, I said he's done. He's finished with. And then Guskov gets a big TKO win. Now, pre-weigh-in, this was my lock. So the lock took a fat L, and I feel like an absolute moron for calling him. But I knew after those damn weigh-ins that Ryan Spann looked way off, and he was going to probably be in trouble. So that is why I always tell you guys, tune into that weigh-in recap show. I pick-flipped to Machado early in the night. That shit worked beautifully. Here, I should have pick-flipped, man. I said, listen, fuck the lock. I'm going Guskov now. It is what it is regardless. Superman Spann, not so super anymore, man. Just might as well call him Ryan Man Spann because Bogdan Guskov looked super in that fight. He took the super away from Ryan Spann. Good performance for him. I still don't think Guskov's that good. It's just I think Ryan Spann is awfully inconsistent. And at this point, I'm ready to say that we're at the tail end of his UFC career. Sadly. Main event of the evening. If you guys haven't yet, make sure you smash the likes. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe. This fight just deserves a round of applause. Like, Alex Perez is a savage. He chinned Matthias Nicolau so viciously, I felt joy. It was an awesome knockout. Perez hasn't won since 2020. 2 minutes and 16 seconds into the second round. That's all he needed. Nicolau fights so damn defensively with this running style and staying away. Watching it, I'm always like, man, I hope this dude gets knocked out. Like, I was happier after the fact. Beforehand, I forget about that with Nicolau. Like, I forget about how it feels to watch him fight live. You go rewatch a fight, you're looking at it differently. When you watch it live, it can be disappointing. Nicolau had an okay strike he landed in the first round, but like I said, a lot of lateral movement. Perez let it go in that second round, and he absolutely annihilated Nicolau, who I think has a Matt Schnell chin. I think is less than Matt Schnell's. I think we got the glass slipper jaw, man. Unfortunately, I think we're going to have to call Matthias the glass slipper Nicolau now. Like, I think that's the new nickname. He's going to be in the glass slipper tier as far as chins go. Now, Perez hits hard. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think Nicolau takes a clean punch very well. Alex Perez looked awesome, though. Let's keep praising the fuck out of Alex Perez. Early on the card, when I'm watching the stream, they show Perez and Nicolau walking in. And if you guys watch that stream, the Fight Companion, you'll know I said, yo, I think Perez is going to beat him. Like, fight day right before prediction. Earlier in the week, I was on Nicolau, so I'm not saying, oh, it was a magical pick flip. No, but I felt something like it looked like Perez was just going to win. You could feel the energy. And you look at Nicolau, he looked kind of dorky. He looked like a dude who was about to get knocked out with that terrible mustache. Please, can you shave it, Nicolau? Or do something different with the style? Maybe grow the big beard out so you can get a little protection over here. I think he needs it. Alex Perez looked good, man. Respect to Alex Perez. Short notice, chins Matthias Nicolau, and snaps a 3-fight losing streak. And the dude hadn't won since 2020 against Jussier Formiga. So, Alex Perez, shout out to you, dude. Absolute savage performance. Complete grit, heart, and dedication to the game. Willing to take a fight in a suboptimal circumstance, and he comes out as a huge winner. I also think this improves Muhammad Mokaev's stock, who has a win over Alex Perez last time, but kind of for a lackluster performance, got left in the dust. And that's why Urseg this following week, now, UFC 301, which is coming up, is going to be fighting for the belt because it was between Mokaev and Urseg. And now Mokaev is on the sidelines, whereas Urseg's fighting for the title. But a win over Alex Perez, I don't care in what fashion, it deserves a lot of respect. Big performance for Perez. Massive win. And I think Matthias Nicolau, he might be slipping down the cracks. I don't know, man. His time might be beyond. Because Alex Perez, breakout performance. He looked good. I want to see more of Alex Perez. Flyweights who get knockouts, count me in all day. Great performance for Alex Perez. Good to see him snap the losing streak, get back to his winning ways. And listen, knockout win with leg kicks over Formiga. Now he drops a big overhand right, big hook, and flatlines Nicolau. I'd say life's looking pretty good for Perez, even considering the 3-fight losing streak. Now, as far as my predictions, my record was 9-3, okay? So my record for the UFC 300 era and beyond, I have it written down. What are we? 18-7. I'm a savage, bro. 9-3 on this card. Very happy about that. So I started the night off with a pick flip. Earlier in the week, I was on Benítez, but I got a bad feeling. I flipped to Machado. Damn, Machado looked terrible, but thank goodness he got the win. The pick flip was correct. I won with Ivana Petrović over Liang, but that one was pretty black and white. Late edition fight, I chose Llontop over Padilla. Llontop missed weight. He looks like an inconsistent guy. I don't know. The face tats, the vibe. It seems like a dude that's inconsistent. Go win for Padilla. I'll take my loss on the chin. One with Souza over Mann. One with Mays over Machado. One with Hubbard over Figlak. One with Henry over Yahya. One with Marnic over Means. One with Onama over Pearce. One with Diniz over Austen Lane. One with Karine Silva over Lipski, the post-weigh-in lock. Lost with Ryan Spann for the damn lock. I hate the early week locks. I'm allowing myself to flip things up after the weigh-ins from now on because Karine Silva, after the weigh-ins, I knew she had it, and boom, it ends up being right. Ryan Spann, I was worried about it, and boom, he ends up taking a fat loss. Fuck, man. It is what it is. Take my L on the chin, but, dude, I'm delivering a fucking overhand right like Alex Perez next week. I'm throwing a left hook like Mike Perry. Alex Perez obviously beat Nicolau at the top. Took an L with Nicolau. But, yeah, that one was, like, kind of hard for me to read. That was a weird one, especially. 9-3, though, so everything besides, you know, the top of the card pretty much was incredible. The underdog calls were amazing. That's how the game goes. I bounce back with savagery next week for UFC 301. I hope you guys enjoyed my all-day long stream with the Vegas 91 fight companion and the BKFC fight companion. And I also hope you guys enjoy this recap show. So make sure you smash the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, turn the post notifications on, and don't be afraid to share the video. I appreciate you all. Let me know what you thought in the comments down below. And if you got nothing to say, if you just want to support your boy, drop a W in the chat to boost the algorithm. Thank you all so much, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.